Hello everyone and welcome back to James Talk Sport, where today I'm going to talk you through the 16th edition of the men's Strade Bianche and the 8th edition of the women's Strade Bianche and give you my conclusions from this amazing classic. We'll kick things off with the conclusions from the women's race, 136 kilometres, and well, an absolute tactical masterclass from SD Works. Van den Broek, Vollering, Mon Passio, and Lotte Kopecky were all favourites and all from the same team. They played an absolute blinder, attacking one after the other. Vollering clearly wasn't on the best form, but she sacrificed all of her chances for the team. And, well, she was amazing. The team were amazing, and Lotte Kopecky delivered a fantastic sprint and a fantastic end to the teamwork. My second conclusion from the women's Strade Bianche is that although Aminit van Vleuten might be the strongest rider, she doesn't have the strongest team in the race again. So she was led out superbly by her team into the third from the last gravel sector, short but very steep climb. But after that, she was outgunned by not just SD Works, but Canyon Shram and FDJ for teammates as well. She may have the best engine, but she certainly needs a stronger team to be able to utilize that engine. The third and final conclusion I'm going to make from the women's Strade Bianche is that even a rider with the ability as cyclocross world champion Marianne Vos can't just float back into the middle of a race and win. Certainly, she can be competitive, and she was yet again today at Strada, but she certainly showed that she was off the pace on a number of key important sectors. She was dropped several times, fought and came back on. Top 10 was all she could manage in a race that, amazingly, with her ability, she has never won. On to the men's race now, with the first conclusion being the lunacy that is Tadej Pogacar. With 48 kilometres to go, he went to the front on the Monte Santa Maria sector and never looked back, figuratively, of course. He got the gap on Simon Clark and the rest, including Alaphilippe, Asgreen, Carapaz, Narvaez, and was never seen again until the finish line in Siena. Only Carlos Rodriguez could get close to getting onto the wheel, and Pogacar becomes the first Tour de France winner, in fact, the first Grand Tour winner to win this fantastic classic. The race itself, I don't think will go down as a true classic, and I'll get onto that in a minute, but it was still an incredible ride from Tadej Pogacar. My second conclusion for the men's race is that although the race will be remembered for the brilliance of Tadej Pogacar, it certainly missed Wout van Aert, Mathieu van der Poel, and Tom Pidcock in the final of the race. Yes, they may not have been able to follow Pogacar's attack. However, we know that they would chase him down, and it would have made the race even greater than it was already. It's a shame that they weren't there, but you can only beat who was in front of you. So the third conclusion to the men's race is wondering and questioning why Alejandro Valverde and Quinn Simmons didn't ride in that group when they got away with Asgreen, Narvaez, and Wellens. They'd brought the gap down after that sector from about minute 10 to 58 seconds. No, in fact, 50 seconds on Pogacar. And you thought, oh, Pogacar's gone too early. It's going to make the final of the race brilliant to watch. But then you return to the group and you see Simmons and Valverde not pulling. And of course, that group was never going to survive. And maybe Pogacar went too early, but that group certainly helped win him the race. The final conclusion from the men's Strade Bianche is that the race was really defined by the wind and a crash with 100 kilometers to go. It took out some of the top favourites. An informed Tish Benoot and Matej Mohoric were completely out of the race, while it forced Carapaz, Alaphilippe, and Alejandro Valverde to chase back on. And yes, they would ultimately get back on. Valverde would finish second, so well done to him, but certainly stopped Alaphilippe from being able to compete in the final of the race. So thank you very much for watching James Talk Sport and my conclusions from the men's and women's Strade Bianche in 2022. I'll probably be back for my conclusions of Paris-Nice and Tirreno, where it's Roglic versus Yates, and I assume Pogacar and Carapaz doing battle with Remco at Tirreno Adriatico. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time on James Talk Sport.